Okay, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream. I hope everyone is well. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like. Of course, the stream has just started, but if you're a regular, feel free to drop a like if you're enjoying the streams in general. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the near future. Make sure you check out the Discord channel, completely free to join. Have I not pinned it to the top of the chat? No, I have not. Let me go and do that real quick. Let me go pin it. There we go. So yeah, you can't miss it. Is at the top of the chat. There will be discount opportunities there closer to the launch date. So if you are interested, make sure you're in that so you don't miss out. But guys, welcome back to another stream. Tony Gold, first one here. What is up? 9 a.m. Damn. That is very early. Excuse my voice. William, good morning. I hope you're well. Welcome to the stream. Sculpey, as always, good morning. Good morning. Hope you're good. I'm doing well. Antonio, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Blessing, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Euro dollar, I will take a look. Philip, I'm making profits lately. I've zoned out. It's so frustrating. How do you get all these trades you analyze? I missed a lot of trades. I see that they've gone in the correct direction. Good question, to be fair. Good question, because that is definitely a part of trading. Missing trades and seeing trades that maybe you've analyzed previously, maybe you forgot about, or you just didn't take the trade and you see it play out. It's all a part of the game, really. Trading is not, excuse me, trading is not a linear thing in terms of you find trades, take trades, win trades, and the cycle repeats. You will go through multiple different situations, circumstances, trading. There will be patches where everything you touch turns to gold and you're having a really, really good time. And there'll be times where everything you touch turns to ashes almost, and you kind of need to hold yourself back and kind of slow things down and find your feet again. Trading is not something where, okay, you've got it and now everything is just up. It's a bit of a roller coaster, but of course, as long as you have a plan, you have an edge, and you stay true to that, the overall trajectory of that roller coaster is up. But you will have times where things are sideways, things are in drawdown, and of course, things are going very, very well. When you're missing trades, again, it's not such a big deal unless you're doing it a lot and it's kind of hindering your performance. If that's the case, then you need to sort out your trading hours and when you can be at the charts. If you've got things going on and you're busy and you can't be at the charts for a certain period of time, well, then try and plan your trades whenever you have the charts, basically. And of course, people have full-time employment, maybe they're in education or whatever. That will make excuse me. Always like this at the start of the stream. But yeah, if you're full-time employment, full-time education, that will of course make things a lot more difficult learning-wise and progressing, because you've got that to deal with. It just means your process of learning and getting better will be slower, but you can still do it. It just will be slower. But if it's a case where you just kind of miss a trade here and there, which I do, which I'm sure a lot of people on the stream do, and just generally speaking, you just got to charge the game, because you're not here to take advantage of every opportunity, because you will miss out. You will miss out on trades from time to time, especially with me, because I analyze a lot of markets, especially on streams. And there's some trade setups I see which I'm kind of I'm not really feeling. Sometimes they do work out. Not every trade that I don't take because it doesn't look good doesn't always fail. Some do work out. But again, that's just trading, it's probability. Some trades you didn't think would work. Some trades you think would work, failed. So the advice I'm trying to give you is that if it's a case where you're missing too many trades, well, then you've got to go back to the drawing board in terms of your hours and try and reschedule that. If it's a case where you're just missing a trade here and there, which is normal, then it's normal. It's normal. And if it's a confidence thing as well, then that will come as well. If you're kind of getting hesitant when you're taking trades and you're kind of staying at the market when you should be taking the trades, and being hesitant, again, that confidence will come as well, naturally, as you get better. But if you're in a bit of a rut, you're not the only person, and it probably won't be your last rut you'll be in trading either. My best advice is see it through. If you've got a plan, stick to that. Don't try and get too wrapped up in the here and now, because trading is always it's always a long-term thing. Your results now don't define your results by the end of the year or whenever. So keep at it, keep sticking with it. I know it will be difficult, but persistence will pay off. And then once you kind of get past the rut, you will naturally come into a better place, because again, it's probabilities. You will go through the hard times and you will go through the good times as well. But if it's a confidence thing, you just got to keep pushing, because the confidence will come. It's almost fake it. It's almost like fake it till you make it. Fake the confidence, and then you actually have the confidence, sort of. And just bet small whilst you're going through the difficult time. The last thing you're going to do is go all in and make a real mess of things. What's up, Coruscant? Welcome to the stream. It has been some time. Hope you're well. Welcome. Frenesis, good morning. Hope you're well. Welcome to the stream. Yadish, good morning. Hope you're well. I'm going to enter by if it comes over down. Okay, we'll go take a look. Simbanello, what is up? I'm back. Yep, it has been a long time. Is there a reunion today or something? A lot of people coming back into the stream that I haven't seen for a while. I'm doing good. Hope you're well. Anywho, I've got some charts to look at. So I'll go through euro dollar. We'll take a look at pound USD as well. New Zealand yen, Finessis, we'll take a look. And if you guys want to take a look at any charts, let us know. I did exit my Euro Swiss trade for about 50% loss of the position of the how do I explain that? 50% of what the loss, 50% of how much I was risking. There we go. Don't know why that was so difficult to explain. I have the trade entry here. Things were going very, very well at the start. Let's see some nice momentum. This trade I took yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, Monday. Things were going well, but momentum just failed, and we just kept going with these higher lows here, which just put a spanner in the trade. And then yesterday we had that higher low, or late hours of Monday, and then price kind of consolidated. And I said, as long as we can hold the high, I'll still hold into the trade, because we could be double topping before rolling over. But then we broke out of that, and then I wasn't liking that, so I have closed the trade early. Hasn't hit my stop loss yet, so there is a world we could roll over, but the probability is not in my favor anymore, especially with the fact that the level I'm trading from was this low here. Price is actually trading above it. So that's a big red flag as well. So I have closed the trade early. I don't normally close trades early, but under specific conditions, I will. Because I like just to take a trade and let it do its job. I don't like to get too hands-on, because in the past that has made me a bit more kind of agitated and a bit more emotional with my trades, because I kind of just want to take the trade and let it do its thing. But when things are clearly not moving apart a plan, I will sometimes intervene. And in this case, I did. And it hasn't hit my stop loss yet. Might do, might not, but it wasn't looking good. If anything, I'll look for any re-entries if we do come back below. But at the moment, looking pretty bullish for now. So there's a good chance we could push higher. Maybe we're coming to a deeper push into this area. Then I'll probably reinvestigate for some sells. That was an update on my Euro Swiss position. In terms of Euro USD, Euro was very, very strong yesterday. Dollar was pretty weak. Again, Euro is just very awkward, isn't it? A lot of consolidation, and suddenly, boom, it breaks to the upside. Very, very annoying, because, again, this is kind of like a missed, well, it's not really a missed trade, but it's kind of a missed move, because I've been talking about Euro USD to the upside for a while. I've been talking about this level for a while. We were very, very close to it last week, and unfortunately, price just never came back to retest the level. So although there wasn't really a trade for me to take in terms of my level, I kind of missed the move as well because it pushed up. And again, I've seen this time and time again in my back testing. Sometimes I'm waiting for a pullback, doesn't quite get there, and it makes the move. It's also part of the plan. Sometimes you can rectify it. Maybe you miss something. So there's always that possibility. You can always improve, and you can always improve. That's just generally a fact. You can always improve. But at the same time, there's a fine line there. You don't want to improve in terms of you chasing a trade, because there'll be times where you jump into a position because you're scared it might not hit your level, and then it just goes and fails, hits your level, and then goes. You're like, why didn't I wait for my level? So there's that predicament as well. But as long as you're taking a good trade, that's the main rule I have for myself and in general. As long as you're taking a position and it's a good position in terms of fits your plan well, criteria as well, price action looks good. As long as it looks like a good trade, then that's all you can really do as a trader. If you're taking a trade and it kind of looks weird, but you're just taking it because you might miss the move, then that's the issue. And that would have been the case because, again, I normally enter on the hourly. There was no real entry there for me anyway. But yeah, Euro's looking very bullish now. We've pushed past the high, but I'm more interested with Euro, to be honest, because we had a lot of momentum in this move here, which was good, hence why I was looking to trade it. But then we had a lot more momentum in this move here as well, which is mean that price is now showing a bit of conviction, because Euro has been so choppy over the past 6-7 months now. And it looks like we're slowly breaking to the upside and slowly seeing momentum. So this could well be the next main target for Euro. As I've been saying, we've gone from making lower lows here to now making higher lows. So it's like a very sluggish bowl shape pattern. So there's your bowl shape there. And again, I'm expecting price just to keep that structure going and push back into main resistance. And who knows, maybe price is going to make its way back to the high there, but we'll discuss that later. For now, this is the next major target. We did have that descending channel in play, but price looks like it's put that to bed. We're moving very comfortably in that descending channel. Price is broken above that now, so the next pit stop would be that high for me. So yeah, for EURUSD, 1.11077 is likely where price is headed to next. And again, our job, or at least my job, is to look for pullbacks on that way there. So again, the next best place for a pullback would either be the retest of the high here, but it pretty much coincides with the consolidation here. So this is where I'd be interested now for some buys, if we're to get there and then take the move higher. But the key thing for me for Euro is that we're showing momentum. There's a bit of a trend forming. I'll touch on DXY in a moment, but it looks promising. It looks like there's a good chance of us pushing to that area. In terms of New Zealand yen, of course, we had interest rates for New Zealand dollar. Yes, I haven't actually seen what the numbers have come out of. All I know is that we had a bit of a dive. So wait, did we? Oh yeah, we did. Okay, so it came out a little bit less actually. It was expected to be 5.5, came out less, 5.25. So the cut rates. But yeah, a bit of a drop there for New Zealand dollar, as we can see. So again, for the JPY, I'm still looking for sells. I would still prefer a test of this area here. And again, this move's kind of happened overnight, so it would be difficult to catch that move anyway. But if you're in a trade, fantastic. If not, I kind of want to still see price do something like this and push up, and then take the trade around 90, big psychological level, and still really nice zone to take a trade from as well. What's that, 90? So yeah, I would love to take a short up there. Again, strong move to the downside from the interest rates, but unless you're already shorting before the interest rates happen, then difficult to try and catch that move. But if we keep kind of pushing up slowly in this kind of ascending nature, I would like a short up there and see what we can do. And again, it may just be a short back to the low, and then we might see a bigger move up, or we might collapse. That's trading. We just have to manage accordingly. But in terms of a smart area of interest, a smart place to look for shorts, this low looks pretty good. And it coincides with this low here too, which is a pretty big level there because this gave us a massive move higher. So yeah, I'd like a push into 90, and then we can discuss some shorts, but not really seeing much interest where price is right now. Okay, so I'll go through GU next. Yadish, we'll take a look at Aussie Swiss as well. Simbanello, Swiss and Euro, the only currencies performing better than USD today. Rest USD is performing better. I'm talking about right now. Yeah, I mean USD is down the drain a little bit. You can see right now it's pushing pretty hard. USD is very, very weak. Euro up, pound. I think we had a bit of pound news, that's why it's not so much. But Euro USD is flying. Euro is definitely strong. Euro USD did break above 1.0946 level where I'm planning to buy, but it didn't retrace. Yeah, that's as I was touching on earlier in the stream. That's a part of trading. You know, with a break and retest, I found from my experience, you probably get a retest probably about half or 60% of the time. You know, if price breaks a level, there's probably about 50-60% chance it will probably retest, and about 50% chance it will kind of just will go on. Sometimes the retest will happen a lot later. So for example, we might break through a level, like for example, this high here, and the market will continue the trend. It might eventually come back down to retest it. It might not do it straight away. So the market sometimes does that. But yeah, for breaking retest, you may get the retest, you may not. That's always a possibility. Scalpy been a crappy week for me. Market been giving good trades and non-trading days, and nothing on my trading days. The joys of trade. Exactly. That's the reality of it. It's not just kind of glamorous. You wake up in the morning, you got a beautiful setup, you take the trades smoothly to take profit, and then you go and drive your Lamborghini for a few hours. That's not how trading works at all. There's times where you have some really good setups and they kind of just don't work. They just don't play out, and that's part of the game. There's times where you get really nice trades outside of your trading hours. I was experienced that a lot about 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. Had quite a few trades on the yen pairs and Swiss pairs, all outside of my trading hours. They all just came around 6 p.m. and I normally stop trading at 5. And that was annoying as well. And Scalpy kind of experienced that now too. So yeah, it's a part of trading. It's not always just smooth stuff. And again, you wouldn't want it to be anyway. Because again, with trading, it's not like you're doing crazy long hours. Yes, you probably would have done getting to a profitable stage, and as I imagine a few people on the stream are going through that journey. But once you're kind of trading, trading doesn't take up more than probably. It depends how you trade, but I would say no more than 2 or 3 hours in terms of your sum of actions. And for people, it could be a lot less. It could just be 30 minutes in a day as well. So it's not like you put in hard hours in hard labor. So I feel like missing trades and taking losses and losing streaks, drawdown, all of that is the mental pain, the mental baggage, which keeps you humble in trading, keeps you working for it. Otherwise, it might not be. I don't know, use the word too easy, but it could be the case. Pound CAD, we'll take a look at Captain Commandsy. No problemo. Don't look at the DXY. The pairs, CHF and Euro, is the only ones stronger than USD. You mean so USD CHF? I mean, there are a lot of currencies stronger than CHF because, I mean, a lot of currencies stronger than USD because pound. I suppose with the news, pound is down, but it's pushing up pretty strong right now. Aussie dollar's pushing up against the dollar. New Zealand's okay, that dived because of the news. Kind of going through the dollar pairs there. USCHF, that one's moved down, so USD is weaker than CHF. So yeah, CHF is stronger than USD, but I would say Aussie's stronger as well. I'd probably say pound will be stronger, is stronger as well, despite the news that we had this in the morning. Euro is definitely strong because, of course, we're flying there. But yeah, Euro is convincingly stronger, and CHF is too. But all that can change very, very quickly as well. All that can change very quickly in the afternoon because we got CPI this afternoon, and we've got Euro employment change, or yeah, I think employment change. I don't know. Have we had that already? Was that at 12 or 10? Okay, yeah, we already had that. That might be helping you out with strength. But yeah, we do have CPI this afternoon, so that could all change very quickly. Or it could just blow everything up as well. Anyway, so what's up, Chris? Welcome to the stream. Good morning, good morning. I'm doing well. Long time no see. I know. It's like a big reunion today because a lot of people haven't been in the stream for a while are saying hi. But yeah, welcome. Hope you're good, Chris. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, I'll go through GU and then I'll take a look at Aussie CHF. Yeah, and then pound CAD as well. So yeah, pound USD breaking higher. Really nice move yesterday. This is what I'll be talking about, a break of this area here, which has been done. I like it to be a bit bigger, but the key thing for me is that price is well and truly outside of this channel here. And it might be the case that we have put in that next higher low for GU to keep pushing. So I'm going to be looking for buying opportunities for GU. I may look for a buy here, depending how we move there, and depending if we get there, of course. Because you had a brief kind of pause there in the market. It was a very awkward one. I mean, a nice breakout of that. If price was to correctively push into that area, I may look to long from this. If not, then I'll just wait for price to build a bit more structure and develop a little bit more and look for a break and retest somewhere, maybe on this area if it's a bigger breakout, maybe on the high here. Again, it really depends how price forms. But the idea for pound, at least my idea for pound, is to buy and look to expect price to come back into the swing high there. Because for me, we've got that bullish structure, which looks like it's come to life now, as we can see. So that's basically the plan, similar to Euro USD in terms of the higher highs and higher lows. Just got pound has some work to do. So similar situation again, they're very similar pairs as well. So it's good to have them doing similar things. But yeah, pound, again, looking for buy opportunities. Like I said, I may consider buy there. If not, then I'll just wait for a bit more development, maybe a retest of the high somewhere. But the goal is, the target is a push back to 1.303 and probably back to the high here at some point as well. So yeah, that's my take on pound USD. Okay, so we'll go through Aussie CHF next, and then we'll take a look at pound CAD. What's up, Rick? Good morning. Hope you're well. Okay, good to hear, Chris. Good to hear. Daniel, US oil, will have a look. See, I'll add that to the list. So yeah, Aussie CHF is an interesting area. Coming back into the retest this level here. I am keeping an eye out for some shorts. Again, CHF pairs, yen pairs. I'm still kind of keeping eyes out for shorts on all of them, really. I'm not the biggest fan of how we're kind of moving here. It's a little bit choppy now. So if I do get entries because price is pushed up one more time, maybe it's given us another rejection like we did over there, and then I'll jump into the trade and then see what we can do. But in terms of the area we're trading, this is a nice place for a short. I just want price to push back to the high, and so I can get a nice stop loss above the high and take some entries that way. But in terms of where it's coming into, of course, price support, massive break to the downside. We're back there again. I'm not necessarily expecting price just to continue all the way down. Of course, it could do. That'll be amazing. but it may just be a short-term trade back to some of these levels, and then price might find support somewhere and push on. But in terms of the level, it's a really nice one, especially the fact that the market's had such a big sell-off. I mean, there are areas higher up which we could still get to, but I think for now we concentrate on this area. And there's of course a big level here too, which could make for a nice take profit. But first, you get the entry. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Aussie CHF. Sell below 0.6286. Where's that? 0.6286. 6286. Wait. 6286. That's. You sure you're typing that right? Oh, CAD CHF. I was going to say because 6286 is all the way up there. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for, Aussie CHF. So anyone concerned about that pair, Aussie CHF. CAD CHF. Okay, so I can see we're coming into a low here, which is probably what's causing price to struggle a little bit. There is a nice one up here as well, which we didn't retest. I remember because I was looking for a retest of that level and didn't happen. So yeah, where is your 0.6286? 6286, 6286. Okay, somewhere around here. So you're looking to sell below that. Okay, makes sense there. Makes sense there because the markets, of course, create a lot of support there. So looking for a sell below that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't mind that at all, really. I don't mind that. I think there's two ways I would go about it. Either waiting for that break and then that retest in the low time frames, or waiting for a push back to the high in this area, seeing if you can reject it like we did previously, and look for a short up there, anticipating the bigger move. And again, stop loss above the high. This one a bit more of an aggressive trade because you're essentially saying we're going to reverse back down. But if it does pan out and we do reject the high, you're in a really nice place where, again, trading stops will look good because where your entry is, where you can go break even, it's kind of way up high and protected. Whereas here, you might see kind of random pullbacks that could take you out the market. But there's no right and wrong. I like the level here. Market's rejected a few times, so a break of that could provide a nice retest. Likewise, a push back to the high there as well looks good. But yeah, CAD CHF is smashing its head right now on a big low, and it's so far rejecting it pretty well. And of course, if things are successful, market holds that area, there is a world we do come right back to the low there as well, which is pretty far away. The risk reward will be pretty nice. And if we do come higher, I'll keep an eye on 644 because that's still a nice daily level, which we haven't tested either. But yeah, it's a nice area we're trading at, and waiting for price to commit through support, then look for the retest after. I think makes a lot of sense as well. So yeah, I like that from CAD CHF. I do like that. And then New Zealand CHF, big move down. Okay, so where were we? Ourselves gonna take a look at pound CAD, and I'll go through oil as well. So with pound CAD, I haven't actually kept up to date with pound CAD. Don't know what pound CAD's doing. Again, it's not really a pair on my watch list, so that is why. Okay, so we're in a nice area for a short actually, because this is the level I was talking about last week, and over the weekend, over the weekend with my weekly analysis. I said this level could be a nice place for a short. We have reacted with it. I suppose the news kind of helped that out there as well. But a nice rejection of that and a strong push down. Now, I wouldn't take a trade on that candle because I know it's being affected by news quite badly, especially the way it's kind of left the wick there. It makes it look very, very awkward. So if I'm looking to take a trade here, I'd wait for price to settle and hopefully push back into the level and give me another rejection. Then I'll look to take it on that candle. Just because sometimes these candles after news, it's either price is using it to kind of fake people out and then continue higher. So you don't really want to follow those moves, especially when we're showing a lot of rejection after. Sometimes they can be really really impulsive and close really, really bullish, and then price just kind of continues. But then you can normally tell the difference between the two. In this case, it's a nice push down, but I'd wait for another rejection before entering. But yeah, in terms of where we're trading, I think it's a nice place for a sell. Now, these shorts are still counter trend because higher time frames, again, are still pretty bullish, as we can see. So if you do take a short, you're kind of in the mindset that, okay, I'm not necessarily expecting price to swing it all the way back to the low. Price might just push halfway before we might put a higher low and go against me. So I'm well aware of that. In that case, you want to be a bit more aggressive with your management. Back to this area here, that could be a really nice target, take profit, or place to partial out, and see how price reacts with that. If it does start looking bullish, maybe close out early. Of course, we could get to the low here. Maybe price wants to have a bigger move, maybe we're reversing. But yeah, you do have to take into consideration that we are very bullish on the higher time frames. And for all we know, this could still be another higher low for price to push back to the high. So shorts look good, mainly because of the 4 hour and the low time frames. A lot of conviction through that low. Markets already giving us equal highs up here. Then we formed a lower high after that lower low, and the lower low. So we do have some bearish structure which is at play. Hence why the sales look good, but still be careful because that trend may want to continue. So we might not push all the way back to the swing low. But then again, we don't need it to make a decent profit either. So yeah, that's kind of my verdict there for pound CAD. Nice place where we're selling from. But if you're not already in the position, you kind of want price to come back to test that high to enter. Okay, so we'll go through oil. Rick, okay, we'll take a look at NZD CAD as well. Okay, head and shoulder pattern there as well. Because again, that support basically would be the neckline there too. So your left shoulder over there, your head and your right shoulder. So yeah, textbook stuff there from CAD Chef, textbook stuff. And that's just where the waiting game comes in. Because if you're waiting for the break and retest of that neckline, see your price is going to break through that level or it's not, pretty black and white there. If it does break through, you're in business, you're looking for your retest. If it doesn't and it starts darting off and you're interested in that move, then no trade and you move on. But we do have CPI today, so I do expect to see movement. And of course, US CPI kind of affects every other currency as well, so it won't just be dollar. Of course, dollar will be the main currency, but other currencies, CAD, yen, they will be affected as well. Anyway, so oil. So yeah, with oil, big push up. I said yesterday, a retest of this level could be a nice place for a long. We did bounce there. Hasn't really gone anywhere since then. I like how price is moving because it does look like price is just kind of put a pullback in. However, I would say if we can push back into the low, reject that, that could be your entry there. Because right now we've had a reaction. Of course, this push here is a wick on the 4 hour. But if we could come retest that support, essentially a double bottom, that could provide a nice entry to take it back into the high and maybe beyond. Again, I'm not a big fan of oil just because high time frames, I don't have a clear-cut bias because we're basically just moving sideways. We've got a bunch of higher lows over there, a bunch of lower highs over there. So I don't really know what price is doing here. It's kind of getting ready for a big breakout. In which direction, I don't know. So yeah, when the high time frames are not clear to me, I can still trade it, but I'm well aware that I'm being more aggressive, and I'm well aware that I'm not trying to look for a big swing because, again, I don't know which direction the market is likely to push into. So I've got to be a bit more conservative with my trades. But yeah, for now, for oil, I would expect to see a reaction off that high, a push back into the new high we created, and then we'll see what price can do from can do from there. Maybe we're going to push back into the higher end of the trend line, possibly. Maybe we're forming a high to come back down, possibly. But I think in terms of intraday opportunity, this looks good. But after we make that move, if we do make that move, I'll just kind of reanalyze and go from there and see how we look. Normally, I would give out a longer term bias of what I'm expecting the price to do, like I do for Euro and other pairs. But in this case, I wouldn't. It's a bit more up in the air. But if oil does push up, then that will take CAD with it and make CAD strong. I mean, USD CAD is already heading down, but USD is already weak. So yeah. Okay, so where was I? I'll go through New Zealand CAD. Good morning, Dark Sean. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Can I take a look at your USD on the 5 and 1 minute, please? I'm on cooker duties and didn't have a chance to check. Okay, we'll take a look at Euro on 5 and 1. Let me just go through New Zealand CAD. So I believe this one had a breakout yesterday. Oh, yes, it did have a breakout yesterday, but had a break right back in with the news. Yeah, completely forgot all about that. So yeah, a really nice breakout. Yesterday I said if price was if price came back for a retest, this could be a really nice place to long. But the news was not having any of that. Again, as a trader who does wait for price to react to a level, reject it, give me confirmations before I do take a trade, it allows me to stay out of positions like this where we just have a massive candle breaking through. That's the only kind of downside of just setting alerts. I mean, not alerts, setting orders, is that sometimes you have these cases, especially with news as well, where the market kind of just breaks through. Of course, nothing's perfect. Sometimes the orders give you really good entries because you don't necessarily have to wait for a confirmation. So yeah, it will have its perks, but it also has its disadvantages as well. But anyway, in terms of the price action with NZD CAD, yeah, it's just very, very tricky. I mean, the move back to the low here is still the original play, but ever since we did break through the high, it has made things a lot more awkward because I was expecting price to find support here and then continue back to the high there. And then we go from there, sort of like with oil, looking for a push to the high, and then we reanalyze. But now that we've come back down so hard, this almost looks like a big fake out to me. But then again, I don't want to judge that because it's not like you've got a really nice trend on our hands as well. Fake outs work really well when we've got a nice trend, because if there's a clear-cut trend in one direction, especially with a lot of momentum in that trend, and then we fake out in the opposite direction to the trend, then it's kind of a no-brainer that price is likely going to continue in the direction of the trend. But when you have consolidation and price just fakes out and messes around within the consolidation, that's when it's a bit more complicated, a bit harder to decipher. But yeah, in terms of NZD CAD, I would view that as a big fake out. So naturally, a retest of the high, you'd expect price to hold that and then continue down. So this would become the next best opportunity. There we go. That will become the next best opportunity. Now, I'm not a fan of the price action of NZD CAD. I'm not looking to trade it myself. If I was, that would be the case, but I feel like I can find a lot better opportunities other than NZD CAD. And NZD CAD is not my watch list in the first place, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I would still be anticipating downside. And the fact that we've had this big breakout here and a big push down, this is now said to me that this is a huge fake out. Because again, a lot of stop losses above here, they've definitely been liquidated. And now with that follow through, this becomes the next best play. How is Aussie CAD looking? Not much with that one. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be looking at for New Zealand CAD. In terms of euro on the 5 and 1 minute, okay, let's look at the 5 and 1. I mean, all we're going to see is just bullishness, really, aren't we? Let me, yeah. So, yeah, let me know. Let me know the play. What you're looking for, Dark Sean. Are you just looking for price to Are you just looking for pullbacks on the lower time frames, 5 and 1 minute? If that's the case, then you're in some really good conditions for it because all we're seeing is just high after high after high. Um, Again, from a 5 minute, 1 minute perspective, momentum is still very much up. Again, we're going to put a top somewhere because if you look at price, we had this lovely run there. We put a top in, retracement, if you will, or just sideways price action. Then we went in another move. So that top's going to come at some point, and we're going to see you retrace. I mean, I would expect that to come at some point, but I just remember we got CPI this afternoon, and so it's not going to be a clean one like this. It's going to be see if it's going to be a big move down or price is going to shoot up or just wick around. So it's going to be a very, very choppy few hours for euro. But in terms of the 5 and 1, you're kind of just looking for pullbacks and riding the momentum whilst it's still at play. We're still seeing consistent higher highs and higher lows. Should we see another pullback again, you would anticipate another higher low for another push to the upside, especially on the 1 minute chart. And that would be the only play I would be looking at because we're very, very bullish, so much momentum in the market. Yes, we're definitely stretched and maybe the market's going to put a high at some point. But again, we don't know where that is. And when you're dealing on the 5 and 1, you've got to deal with the here and now. And the here and now is just very, very bullish. So if you do see any pullbacks, I would be looking at just finding areas to play some entries and just anticipating the market to continue higher until it doesn't, until we start breaking structure and taking out lows. Then you can reanalyze. But for now, I would only be looking to buy. No problem, Rick. Happy to help. Yes, I'm missing all of it. Don't worry about it, Dark Sean, mate. There's opportunities galore. The market's full of it. I've missed a lot of trades in my time, and yeah, I'll miss more going forward as well. Of course, you don't want to miss a trade. You know who wants to miss a trade, but it's a part of the game. Especially when you're dealing with a 5 and 1, you got an infinite amount of opportunities there. Of course, you want your specific criteria to be met. You're not just trading away, but because it takes 1 minute for a candle to be formed, and the market can do a lot in the space of an hour at 60 candlesticks. What's up, Manzoni? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. All right, no problem, Sculpey. Have a good one, man. Catch you tomorrow. John, good morning. I hope you're well. What's your take on Euro NZD? Okay, I'll go have a look. Euro NZD. So is Euro strong today, or is that dollar weakness? Yeah, look at some Euro pairs. Okay, ooh, okay, that's because of NZD, isn't it? Euro CAD. So, ooh, Euro CAD's pushing too. I'm guessing Euro is a little bit strong. Euro Yen's trying to push. Euro Aussie not so much, but a little bit bullish. Anyway, yeah, Euro NZD big move higher. Not gonna lie, it's made a bit awkward. It's made a bit awkward because I was looking for Euro NZD to break through this support level. And of course, in hindsight, we can see that did not happen. I'm very short biased on Euro NZD. I'm looking for a big reversal for this one because we've come back into the high. We rejected it very, very well. So I do think at some point we're going to see a really big reversal and hopefully push back all the way to that low. So that's what I'm looking for USD to do. But the plan in my head I had this week was hopefully price can break through this, see some momentum below, and then find some pullbacks to look for a lower high and short. That was the plan I had for USD. But yeah, now that we're looking very bullish off that low, it hasn't changed anything. I'm still looking for the same move. I'm still looking for price to break lower, take some shorts and take it down. Because I do think even if with this push, we'll probably form a high at some point and come straight back down. So kind of like a very weird head and shoulder pattern. There's your left, there's your head, and possibly there's your right. Or at least we're anticipating a right for now. And of course, that will leave behind a lovely neckline, which would be this level here, which of course would be a great place to short from if we're to have a nice break and retest. So USD, the plan is still very much the same, still looking at shorts. This bullish move doesn't really change anything in the grand scheme of things. I know there's a lot of momentum there and things are looking very, very bullish right now, but I do expect momentum to come right back down. And if I'm wrong, I'll reanalyze and go again. But for now, this is where probability lies. This is where the setup lies. So I'm still going to be waiting for that. But yeah, I wouldn't really be looking for anything. I mean, if you want to take a bit more of an aggressive trade, then you could be looking to anticipate some shorts as we push back into the high here around 1.84300. If we can push back into that high there, it will be that would be a nice place to short from. Maybe a bit on the aggressive side, but you're coming into a really big level of resistance anyway, so you're just anticipating the market to reject that level. Or you could wait for price to do something like this. But either which way, I would only be looking to short USD. Only be looking to short. Let me know what you're looking at for USD as well. And on the living life like it's golden. Love that. Big, massive CPI today. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. CPI in the afternoon. 1:30, I believe. Let me just double check. Yes, 1:30. So yeah, going to be interesting to see what happens with CPI today, because CPI has been such a haymaker over the past few months. Because I remember probably about a year ago, probably a year and a half, CPI was never really a thing that I got too excited about. Of course, it did move the market here and there, but nothing crazy. But over the past year, I would say it's gradually become a pretty big event and moved the market quite a lot. So yeah, CPI is a big one. So if I do get set up just before CPI, I probably will hold off on it. Because preferably I want to be in the trade about 3, 4, 5 hours before CPI comes out, the day before preferably. I don't want to be entering a trade just 1 or 2 hours before the news, because I know price most likely will probably still be around my entry. So when it comes out, spreads will widen. And of course, if price is still your entry, you can get slipped pretty bad, especially if it comes out hard, which is done a lot of times. So yeah, it's not ideal getting to the trade just beforehand. But if you're already in some profit and you're holding trade previously, that's a different story. Of course, it can still go against you, but you can protect yourself a lot better. Take some positions off, stop loss to break even. But yeah, 1:30, that will be interesting. I'll keep an eye open for that. I'm not in any trades at the moment, so I'm not really. I'm just gonna be a spectator in that and see how it develops. But yeah, that's a pretty big event today. Simpanella, I'm looking to buy gold now. Isn't gold still at the high? Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not too sure about buying gold now, just because of where we're trading. Gold is right back at that resistance again. So, although I do expect gold to actually break through the high here, but I wouldn't want to find that out with a buy trade. Yeah, because we can still reject this and come straight back down. And that just becomes a loss that I just didn't need to take at all, even though I do expect that level to break. If it doesn't break and price comes straight back down, it's kind of like, duh, why would you take a buy there? So I wouldn't buy gold now because of where we're trading. But as I was highlighting yesterday, if we were to break through this, then we just got like a lovely, lovely level to retest from. If it does break through the resistance there, then I would expect price just to use that support and continue, because it's a lovely, lovely level. Of course, it's acting as resistance now, but if it were to break through, then you'd be expecting it to hold a support and continue price. And of course, with gold, higher time frames are bullish, which is why I like it. Daily, weekly, monthly, the momentum is still with the bulls here. So we know that the higher time frames have wind in their sails to the upside. So on the lower, you're kind of just looking to trade in that direction generally, knowing that you have the higher time frames on your side. So a nice break, and we tested that high there. You'd naturally expect price to continue, but otherwise we haven't broke through yet. We could well break back lower. So yeah, I wouldn't take that trade because of that, because of where we're trading at. But I would still expect us to break through. Buy when the current candle flip is bullish. Okay, so I suppose you got a plan around that. If that's the case, of course, see it through. Again, as I always say, I don't want to talk someone out of taking a trade, but just because of where we're trading, I wouldn't want to buy it. Something like that would be a different question. But no, whilst we're still underneath. Okay. Rick, please check silver. Looking for sales around 28.177. Okay, we'll have a look. See. Silver sells. Okay. 28.177. There we go. That's the closest I can get. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's basically the area I was talking about yesterday for silver. Because again, I'm looking for a move down as well, but price has just been very, very tricky how it's moving. But basically, this area here, brief support when the market pulls a little bit, big strong move to the downside, breaking through the low. Essentially, looking for price to retest that and then continue its move lower. So yesterday, I said if we can come back into that same zone, retest it, this could be a really nice place for a short, and then catch your sells on that retest. So basically in a similar place where you're looking to short and see a move lower. So I do like the shorts there for silver, mainly because there's a big level on the weekly chart, which I'm looking for us to get to, which you don't have to, but if we do, I feel like this is a really nice place where we can start looking for buys again. But it's a massive high here at 25.88. We're not too far away from it. We kind of just missed it a couple of weeks ago. So kind of looking to see if we can slowly roll over, test that level, and see the buys come back into shape and take price to the upside. So that is the plan with silver. It's just going to take its time. Of course, if we do go and break structure, so if you do go and take out this high here, which gave us this low, if we do push up and take that out, then yeah, I'll scrap that bearish bias to that low. And it might mean that the buyers have just come quicker than expected and that we're going to push up. So if that's the case, that's the case. But for now, I'm still looking at the sells. We're still printing these lower highs. Lovely one over there. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So again, looking for another lower high for another lower low. But of course, there are areas to consider for partially out or just to manage the trade. If you do get short up here, then of course You got a lovely level of support here to contend with. That could be a nice place to secure some profits. You got another low over here, which lines up with the high here. So that's a nice place. The support and resistance. You of course got the low there as well. So there are multiple areas you can consider where to book profits and manage the trade. But yeah, looking for shorts up here look good. I like how price is moving. Every time we do take out a high, price moves down, takes out the high, price moves down, take out the high, expect price to move down and hopefully a big move down as well. So yeah, with silver, I'm looking at a similar move. And the only thing I don't like about the silver trade is that it's kind of out of sync with gold because gold has been so bullish. It looks like it's trying to break through the high as well. It hasn't done it yet, but it looks like gold's trying to break to the upside. So that kind of worries me a little bit with silver shorts because how am I expecting silver to go down but gold to go up? One's going to fail, one's going to work. It may be that gold doesn't break high and gold comes down and then it helps silver move down as well. Or it could be the case where gold does break high and then silver will break higher too, because they tend to follow each other, 18, 90% of the time. So it's always best when they're in sync and they're doing the same thing. And right now they kind of aren't because silver has been bearish for the past few weeks, whereas gold has been bullish. I know it's been a bit more choppy, but generally speaking, gold has been fighting higher. So that's the only thing I don't like about gold and silver right now. The fact that they're not lining up, which tells me that one move is going to be incorrect and one move is going to play out. But then again, the worst case scenario, when you take a trade, you take a loss, as long as you manage the risk, as long as you predefine the risk the amount you said you're going to risk. And when you lose that risk. You lose that how much you said you're going to lose. Yeah, that's all you can do in terms of managing your risk, really. And that's the worst case scenario. Mastic Forex, good morning. Looking to sell dollar CHF since it just broke its 4-hour support. Okay. I'll touch on USD CHF. Rick, no problem. Happy to help. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to smash the like button. It really does help out the channel. I do appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far because it does really help out. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't subscribed so far. You're enjoying the content, finding it useful, educational, informative. Please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell too, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads. Because of course, YouTube will let you know that your boy is live or uploading a video. But anyway, in terms of dollar CHF, so dollar CHF is an interesting one because I'm looking for some downside for this one. It looks like it is slowly pushing down. The only issue I've had with dollar CHF is that we just weren't trading at any big level, or at least any level that I was short from based on my plan. I've been talking about the low over here. I've talked about the low over here. And of course, the low over here. There's all areas which I would short from if dollar CHF gets to it. It looks good. But we just haven't hit any of those areas yet. I mean, we're fairly close to this low, to be honest. But again, not quite there. You can still see a gap between the highs. So I haven't got short with dollar CHF or looked to short it yet. So what I would love to see would actually be price to shoot off higher, but I don't see that happening because I'm still very bearish in the DXY. In fact, I haven't actually gone through the DXY yet, so I'll do that after. But yeah, with dollar CHF, I don't see such a big move happening because a lot needs to happen. CHF needs to be weak, dollar needs to be strong. I mean, maybe CPI does that, so I don't know, maybe that move does happen. We'll wait and see for CPI. But from a technical perspective, I would expect dollar CHF to slowly make its way back to the low. Reason being, on the weekly chart, I'm still expecting price to tag this level of support here, which we just missed out on last week. We sold off a cliff the prior week, and then last week we just had a a nice kind of follow through of the wick, but it just closed bullish. So I do think eventually, we'll make our way back to support. It's just about finding that top, where that top's going to form, and then trade it back down to the low. So that's my plan there for dollar CHF. You said you're looking to sell. I can see dollar CHF is breaking that 4-hour support, which is this low here. So yeah, if we can keep that going, because it's a nice break, but not the best break in the world. We've only just about closed below it, and this could easily price faking a little bit lower to push up again. So I want to see some commitment to the downside, some momentum, and then yeah, I would consider. Well, I wouldn't consider, but that would make up for a nice short, because at least we've seen some follow through the level. So we know that, okay, this is the real deal. This is a real break. Price is not just breaking through just because imagine there will be a lot of stop losses here as well, and this would do a good job at taking them out. So maybe price want to use that to push higher. That could be the case. But if you get a really big follow through, then it's like, okay, price is committing to the downside. It's probably not a big fake out. The chances of us coming back and retesting level and rejecting it is now pretty high. So now we've got a good trade on our hands. But yeah, dollar CHF, I've got a similar bias because I do think price has a long way to go. And we are showing some nice signs of breaking through that 4H support. But I would want to see a bit more commitment to the downside there. And then, yeah, you got some nice retest on the level. And of course, in terms of areas to watch out for, we've got a couple. One over there to keep an eye on. A nice low there to keep an eye on. And of course, you've got the low down there. But yeah, I've got a similar bias there for UCHF. I think CAD CHF is doing something similar. Yeah, CAD CHF, lovely support, just hasn't broken through yet. So again, kind of like a head and shoulder pattern, left, head, and there's your right shoulder. If I go to dollar Swiss, you can see the same thing. Of course, the CHF pair, so it's common for them to be doing similar situation, similar price action, just kind of waiting for that commitment to the downside. So yeah, hopefully that made some sense. Where were we? Chris, please check your NSD. Yes, NSD did shoot it up, anticipating a pullback to the downside. Yeah, I'm very bearish in UNSD on the higher time frames. I was talking about this one earlier. I do think UNSD is still going to reverse. Again, I was mentioning the high up there, big push to the upside, big piercing wick through the high. I do think UNSD is going to just fall over to the downside back into the low. That's still very much my plan. But it's going to take its time, because my plan this week was I was expecting price just to break through the support level here. I was expecting price just to break through support, and then I was going to look for the retest and look for my shorts. But of course, in hindsight, that didn't happen. Price respected support, and we had a massive push higher. So the next best opportunity would be the retest the high. I'm still waiting for this. I'm not so interested in this opportunity. But there could be some shorts if people want to anticipate price rejecting the high. I feel like that's a nice place for a short. But this is kind of like the best case if it does come into play. So yeah, that's still very much the play I've got. Yes, we might have some brief pullbacks in there to continue higher, but the bigger move I've got for UNSD is still very bearish, because I'm looking for a pretty big reversal for this one. I've come up to some nice heights where I do think we can reverse. You can see previously over here, massive move down, big spike through. That was COVID, so that's kind of a bit of a irregularity, if you will. But again, a big rejection of that same area, and now we're back there again. Again, not necessarily expecting price to absolutely dump, but at least a reaction, and probably at least a push back to the lows there. But we'll analyze and go along with price. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for UNZD. So I think sales up higher look good, but even better if we can break support and find some shorts on the retest somewhere. I'm keeping an eye on pound NZD because we're kind of doing what I wanted to do, but it's just the price action is very, very awkward because Of course, pound NZD is another NZD pair, which was affected with the news. So this one had a nice push to the upside. And I said this week I'm looking for the retest of this low, which I still am. But I'm not a fan of how price is reacting there. So if we can see a bit more rejection, maybe a double top, that could entice me. But I'm not a fan of the consolidation and a big strong break higher. If we kind of just kept this price action up like we were doing most of the week and just found our way up, then yeah, that's a no-brainer short for me. But yeah, that impulsive move just makes things a little bit awkward. Still expect price to hold that level, but it may just be a short-term move back to this area, and then we might push up for a bigger move before coming down. So I need to be a bit careful with that. But again, pound NZD, UNZD, both pairs I'm looking at on a weekly perspective, where I do think we've come up to some nice heights, some nice levels, some nice areas where, again, a big move down makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that's kind of my take on the pound NZD, UNZD. But of course, NZD interest rates have caused a lot of movement. So they've definitely impacted and made things a bit awkward for some NZD pairs. NZD USD, big push down. NZD CAD, which we mentioned, big move down there as well. New Zealand yen, not so much. It was a move down, but still kind of trading within that channel, so it hasn't really changed much. And New Zealand CHF, bit moved down there too, but again, hasn't changed much as well. All right, no problem, Chris. Happy to help. How is that Euro Swiss position doing? So yeah, looking bullish there. So we might be getting another retest of the high and a push into that level. Then I'll look for some re-entries because the level I was shorting from earlier in the week is not holding anymore. So that idea is kind of been put to bed. But this area I also like as well, since it was the last support we had in the 4 hour before this kind of big meltdown. So I like that area, but again, it might just be a shorter term move. And then price finds support somewhere, and then it pushes on higher. The only reason I say that is because we have created all-time lows. Euro Swiss melted, took out these all-time lows. So I wonder, are we going for a bigger pullback? That could be the case. So I don't want to try and be too bearish and try and push the trade too far because we're not in the best conditions for it or best location for it. Conditions are not too bad in terms of momentum. It's actually ideal. Euro's pulling down a little bit. How's DXY looking? So yeah, DXY is looking very bearish. So this one kind of going to plan, although again, another pair which didn't quite retest that low there. This is why I said some shorts would be looking good for the dollar, but of course, longs like euro. Then again, it went hand in hand with my Euro USD outlook because Euro I was looking for the retest of the high here. It didn't happen, but if DXY did get that retest, then it probably would give me my Euro move, but it didn't. It's looking pretty weak. So again, with the DXY higher time frames, I do think the DXY is slowly making its way back to support, back into this area here, which is around 101,500. So in my book, DXY still got a bit of a way to go. Looks like price is trying to fill this wick here. I would expect us to come into support anyway. So dollar, I still do see it falling, at least back to this price here. Sure, we might have some pullbacks. We might move sideways a little bit. Probably we'll see some upside here too. But generally speaking, I do think there's a high probability we get down there. So what does that mean? That means pairs like euro probably going to push higher. I've marked on this level here for euro anyway. So that's where I see price going. Pound, that's probably going to push high as well. I've marked out that high. Aussie dollar, probably going to push higher. But then again, I don't really have clear targets with this one because we're forming lower highs still. And at the same time, kind of forming higher lows. So I don't really know what price is doing. So I'm not going to trade Aussie dollar. Same thing with New Zealand dollar. Don't really know what price is doing. It's a similar situation to Aussie. USD CAD, I'm just bearish in general, looking for price to come back into the low here. So as I said in my weekly analysis, if you do get some nice shorts on a pullback, specifically speaking about the low here, I feel like that's a really nice short there. Just not too sure if we'll see it. Good morning, John. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Yes, we'll take a look at pound yen for you, no problem. I appreciate that, Chris. Let me put that on the screen there so no one can miss it. But yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please be sure to smash the like button. It does really help out the channel. Appreciate everyone who has done so. And subscribe whilst you're at it as well if you're enjoying the content, finding it useful. Okay, so we will take a look at pound yen. Okay, so with pound yen, yeah, so pound yen again, it's another yen pair, which again I'm just looking for that high. That's the main plan, the main objective. But the only thing with pound yen is that we're very far away from any area which I'd short from. Well, not very far. There's a bit of distance there, but these are the two areas I've been discussing, and they're pretty much the same area for every yen pair. And I'll go mark them up in a moment, but it's kind of the same yen pairs, same areas for the yen pairs. But pound yen is just a little bit further than everyone else, so I still need a pretty nice up move for me to be interested with pound yen before I can start shorting. Again, the idea is for a swing back into the lower here, which is at 181.336, back into the lower, maybe beyond as well. But I like how price is moving, and all the yen pairs are moving in a similar situation, but I like how they're moving. Very corrective on how they're pushing to the upside. So I would expect prices to kind of continue this, push into the high, take some shorts there, and then boom. If not, I have a level up there, looking for the same move really. But the fact that we're taking our time, we're moving very sluggish, is a really good sign that says this move here isn't probably here to stay. It's just probably to put a lower high and continue south. But yeah, if we fall from here, then it's just not a trade for me. I need price to see a bit more upside. So yeah, it's just a waiting game to see if we get there or not. Darkstrom yesterday, there was some talking about possible US recession. I feel like that's always the talk. People have been talking about US recession for the past like almost 2 years, really. Just keep changing the term recession and what it means and how to define it. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what the CPI does. Again, I'm not really a fundamental trader in terms of, okay, I'm expecting the US economy to constrict or expand for the next month or two. So I need to start looking at how I'm going to play the dollar. It's very much what price action is telling me is what I'll do. Of course, I do keep an eye out on the big news events because they do drive the market and can change things. But yeah, I expect all of the consensus of what people think is going to happen with the US economy just be priced in the market based on their positions and how they move. So people are very, very excited about the US economy and expect it to do well. Then I expect people to position themselves accordingly in the market. And then that will be priced in, and the technicals will then represent that. And vice versa with the downside as well. If people are very fearful and they want to take money out of the dollar and they don't want to invest in the US economy, and they take their money into invest in other countries, then I expect that to be priced into the market, and then the technicals will represent that as well. So yeah, And when I mean priced in as well, I'm strictly speaking about the higher time frames as well, not so much like intraday time frames. I'm talking daily, weekly, monthly. Thoughts on silver? So yeah, silver, I'm looking for some downside. But yeah, the longer term move for me is still very much up. So I'm still waiting to buy silver. It's just not at a good price for that. So I'm kind of waiting to see if we can have one move down because I've marked on a really nice level here on the weekly chart around 26. So if we can get 26, that would be very, very nice. And then I would be expecting price to continue higher. So what the plan is to look for downside to that level and then buy from that level. I'm not so interested in shorting silver, but if we do get there, fantastic. Then I'll be looking for my longs. On the 4 hour, we do have some nice bearish structure. So what I want to see is some follow through to the downside, and then hopefully I'll get my buys later on to take it up higher. But in the meantime, there could be some nice shorts as we do come back into some interesting areas here. You can see where price was kind of stalling here for a little bit, broke through for a lot of momentum. Now I'm expecting price to come back and retest that and then get the sell to the downside. And this would be a nice place for a short, stop loss above the high, and take your trade accordingly. I think we push into the 50 0.618. That's a nice area there for me. So yeah, silver, another move down. Only thing I don't like at silver, as I mentioned earlier, is that it's not really in sync with gold, which is not great because gold's quite bullish right now. I kind of expect it to continue higher, but then I want silver to fall. So yeah, one's going to work, one's going to fail. Just be you, dollar seed chef, and dollar yen. Okay, we'll take a look. See. All right, no problem, William. Have a good one, my man. See you Friday. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a look at dollar CHF. Let me know your thoughts on silver as well, but we'll go through dollar CHF and dollar yen. Okay, so let me go through dollar CHF first. Okay, so with USD CHF, again, the plan is, again, with the CHF and the yen pairs, the plan is pretty much the same. All the CHF pairs, all the yen pairs, they all died about 2-3 weeks ago with that massive move. So the plan is to look for them to pull back to some heights where we can look to short them again and continue that momentum. They've all kind of done that to an extent, but some look like they still got room to the upside before they do sell off. Dollar CHF is kind of one of them. It could start falling off now. It just hasn't hit any key area for me. So if I do go to the daily chart right now, I've marked on a few areas which I would like to short from. So 0.87327, I like this low here. We haven't quite got that yet. Got to that area yet. I like the low here because it's the last low price made before this massive dump. So again, that would be a nice place to retest, and of course, lovely support there as well. So if we can get to any one of those levels, then I'll start adding dollar CHF to my watch list, and I'll start looking to short. But right now, we just haven't quite made a level yet. At least that fits my plan, so I'm not looking to short just yet. But what I can say is that we might not get there before selling off. Price is not necessarily waiting for me to then sell off. So if you do start to short now and start to sell off now, as I mentioned earlier, if you do see some nice follow through for this level, this could be a really nice place to short on the lower time frames and again anticipate more downside. You've got multiple targets to look at. You've got support there, support there. You've got the swing low there as well. I do expect to see dollar CHF continue its trend and continue to sell off. Continue this trend over here with the lower lows and lower highs. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So yeah, I do expect this to continue, put that high somewhere. Maybe it has already been printed in, or maybe we're still going to push higher and then continue back to the low. So that's very much the play for dollar CHF. And if that high has been printed in, then we're probably going to see more follow through to the downside, which of course will leave behind some really nice levels to retest and short into the low. So if you do sell off now, keep an eye out for this. If you push up higher, then I do have some levels which I'll mention, closer or later at a later date, because no point to go into too much detail into those levels because we're not trading there. We might be selling off, but if we do get there, then I'll explain them a little bit more. But roughly 0.873, 0.877, 0.882 are the areas I'm considering. In terms of dollar yen, what is up? Tetelesta. Yes, I will take a look at dollar yen as well. So, where's dollar yen? There we are. So yeah, dollar yen is actually one of my favorite yen pairs at the moment because I'm still really, really keen for a move down to that low there, 140.966. I think there's a good possibility we get back to that low. It's just about trying to find the short to that low, which again is the same dilemma through most of the yen pairs. I've talked about a retest of this area here, which again we were very, very close to a couple of days ago. So I still want to see dollar yen make that move higher before I do get the short. As with the other yen pairs as well, I do have a second level I'm looking to short from, which is this zone here just above 152. So it just depends what dollar yen wants to do. I'm looking for a short from 152 or 149. It just depends how much the market wants to pull back. But you can see how much of a tough time we are pushing up higher. So it tells me that, again, this move is mostly a pullback for price to print a high and continue short. I just need price to get there. So yeah, if I drop to the hourly, you can see a lot of sideways price action here. So not really interested whatsoever with all of this. Want price to break higher. Then I'll look for opportunities. If that level doesn't hold, then I'll be looking for opportunities up here. And then, in terms of the plan, looking for a swing back into the prior low, which would be this point here. And then possibly into the low here as well. But we'll discuss that later. At least for now, looking for a swing low. So that's where I'm at with dollar yen. Right now, all we're seeing is consolidation. So maybe also there. Hey, what's up, Lauder? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Welcome. But for dollar yen, we could also break lower as well. We don't necessarily have to break higher. So if you do break lower, there could be some trades on the flip. So we break support. There could be some nice trades like that back to the low as well. So I would keep an eye out for that because we might not get that sell off up high. It might just come out of nowhere. Again, CPI is fast upon us. That could just collapse us to the downside as well. So keep an eye on the retest of that low, but preferably one of these two setups is what I'm playing for. Lauder, why is your CHF so stubborn to drop? I don't know. I do not know. I need to ask that question. Again, I did close your CHF yesterday as price was breaking higher. I did close the trade early, about 50% of the loss that I planned to take. If I did take a full loss, closed about halfway into drawdown because I could tell price was shifting. And the big thing for me as well is that the level I was shorting from, which was this low, price was comfortably trading above that at the point. So I closed it around here. So you can see price is already broken through. But momentum was shifting as well. We had some follow through here from the news yesterday, but it just didn't continue. Left a big wick to the downside and price shot up. So I closed the trade early, but we are now coming to a second area, which I'm considering a short from as well, which is this low we had a lovely few wicks into. I'm also looking to see if we can do the same and hopefully get a nice sell. Now, I'm not expecting much from Euro Swiss. I'm not expecting price to completely sell off and completely go and take out this low here as well. I'm not looking for anything crazy because if I did get that move back down to that low, I could be looking at like a 1 to 10 risk reward anyway. So I'm not looking for that. Of course, I'll be trading a stop loss, so I'll leave myself open to that possibility if it does happen. But kind of well in the I'm kind of expecting to see price maybe push halfway. If I get a nice little Fibonacci out, I get halfway is closer to this area. I'm kind of expecting price to push halfway before maybe we put a higher low in and start to push higher again, because we're at all-time lows for Euro Swiss. These are all-time lows down here, so I'm not necessarily expecting price to crack through and continue, because we are rejecting them pretty well. But I do expect price to drop though. I do expect Euro Swiss to drop. So yeah, I don't know the answer to that, why Euro Swiss is being so stubborn. I think Euro is just a little bit strong. CHF not strong enough. So it has made things a little bit awkward. But yeah, the trade idea is still at play because I feel like Euro Swiss and Euro Yen are both waiting for each other to fall. Because again, they've done the exact same thing for the past few weeks now. If I shift over to Euro Yen, it's the same situation. Big drop down, we've correctly moving up. Euro Swiss, big drop down, we're correctly moved up. They're just kind of both waiting on each other to put a high in and sell off. But yeah, stubborn price action from Euro Swiss. Very, very stubborn. You can see CAD CHF and dollar CHF have had better times moving down. And that's purely because CAD and dollar have been weaker than Euro. Because if you look at Euro CAD, that's pushing hard pretty well. If you look at Euro USD, Euro dollar, that one's been pushing up pretty hard too. So in hindsight, CAD CHF and dollar CHF were the better short based on currency strength. But of course, based on the situation, based on the technicals, Euro CHF ticked the most boxes. So can't complain about taking the trade, because all I have to do at the end of the day as a trader is just take a good trade. As long as you're taking a good trade, then there's nothing more you can do. As long as you take a good trade, reference your plan, criteria is there, confidence is there, all boxes are ticked, price just looks good, then you got to take those setups day in, day out. Because that's literally our job description. Take good trades. Ends the USD long day trade, in my opinion. You're looking to long ends the USD. So I like the direction because I'm pretty weak. I'm pretty bearish bias on USD. So I like the direction. Just not the biggest fan of the currency pair because of the way we're moving. First of all, we had a huge sell-off because of the interest rate decision early this morning with New Zealand dollar. So that's why we've got that massive candle there, which has made things a little bit awkward. And then secondly, where we're trading as well, coming back into prior support over here, term resistance, again, not the best place for me to buy as a swing trader anyway. Day trading is different because you can buy and exit within the same day, within the same session even. So you might not even hold the trade for more than a few hours. So buying into big levels might not be such a big factor. But as a swing trade, again, not the best place for it at all. Price support here, all this is flip resistance. And of course, with that big move we had yesterday or early hours of the morning, it's definitely made things awkward in terms of the buy. So if you're going to buy and just be in and out, then that could play. But in terms of swing, it's just not the best place for it at all. And especially looking at the higher time frames for New Zealand dollar, I have no idea what price is trying to do here. No idea. Euro, I can make sense of. Pound, I can make sense of. Hence why I like to trade those, or why I want to trade those. Aussie dollar can't make sense. New Zealand dollar can't make sense. So yeah, I'll be staying put. I understand that we have been putting in higher highs and higher lows. So there's a chance we could be putting another one in, and price could push higher from that. So I can definitely see that possibility. But yeah, I just do not like price at all. But yeah, I do think DXY will keep falling, so that should help NZD push up. As I said, for the DXY, I do think we'll come back into the low here at 101,500. So if that's the case, if dollar does keep falling, then yeah, NZD USD should push up. But it's just horrible price action in my opinion, at least for a swing trade. Chris, I noticed that Euro pairs are a bit more trade friendly now. Yeah, we are seeing momentum now. Again, the market will go through those cycles. There are times where Euro is looking ugly, not promising to trade at all, which is kind of what Euro was looking like the past few days, especially Euro USD, Euro CAD. Very sideways. You can see Euro USD, all that sideways price action. Now momentum is back in the market. So yeah, we'll go through those cycles. That's why you don't want to change things too rapidly, because a lot of people, trade when the market is doing well. So for example, you're seeing a lot of momentum and you take some nice trades, some momentum plays, you can get the word out there, some momentum plays. But then conditions will change, will get a bit choppy, and a lot of people will then take the same trade in terms of trading momentum when the market is stagnant and moving sideways. And then, of course, they'll experience losses and unnecessary losses, and then they feel like they need to change things up because the market conditions have changed, which is true. But if you have a momentum trading plan, then all it means is that you don't trade. You wait for the market to see momentum, or you move to another market where there is momentum. And in this case, if you're looking to trade momentum, you're probably not getting involved whilst price is doing this. But then when it's breaking out, now's the time to be looking for plays. And a lot of people just go and change their whole trading plan because of this. Because this again lasted a week. Tuesday, the 6th of August to the 13th of August. So yeah, that's more than a week, just more than a week. So people will look at that price action over a week and be like, okay, momentum's not working now. I need to change my trading plan. I need to improve it. Not necessarily. You need to wait. You can always develop a second trading plan when the market is stagnant and how you want to play that, because the best way to play that is to look for fake outs and look for range plays, buy low, sell high type of thing. So you can develop a whole new plan for that if you want to, or you can just get better at the momentum play and looking for pullbacks. Lord, I want to buy pound NZD at 2.12814. Should the price action play out? Okay, we'll take a look at pound NZD. I'm actually quite bearish on that one, but I don't like the price anymore. I was looking to sell it coming into the week, but because of the NZD news that happened last night, I actually don't want to sell it anymore. Price action is just way too awkward, and how everything is set up. Let me go to pound NZD. So yeah, I said I was looking to sell it from this area here. And it still might see some downside. I still expect it to do so, but the pullback is not good. The pullback, impulse down, consolidation, impulse up. This is not your textbook pullback. This is not your healthy pullback. This type of price action is more to symbolize a reversal rather than a continuation. Continuation, you want to see an impulse down and a corrective slow move higher. This typically does mean downside. Hence why I'm looking at a lot of shorts on like Euro Swiss. That's corrective move up. Euro yen, dollar yen, we're seeing that corrective play. So that's why I'm really interested in those highs. But pound NZD, we were doing that for the most part. in terms of really nice move down, and then price was being very corrective. So things look good. All I wanted to do is for price to keep that up back to the high there, then I would have shorted. But it didn't do it, unfortunately. It didn't do it. And then it just impulsed up higher. So that's changed everything in terms of the characteristics of the market. So although we're back at that same area highlighted last week, and I do still expect a reaction, but it may be short term now for price to respect some support and push higher. Maybe we're going to go through a bigger pullback and then a sell-off, because I'm still long-term bearish bias on pound NZD. We've hit some big heights, so I do think the bigger move is down, but it just means I might have to be a bit more patient, because maybe we've got a bit more upside left. Lauder, you said you're looking to long from 2.128. 2.128. Okay, so that's pretty okay. So you're looking to long the high there. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense then. Yeah, because that's kind of what I'm envisioning for pound NZD as well. So I'm looking for the down move, but as I said, it might just come back to respect the high and push on. That's theoretically where you want to look for your buys anyway. So the bigger move for me is still down. So I think the buy is still very much shorter term play. I could be wrong, of course, but I would expect something like this to happen and then a big move down. But then again, this move here could still be very, very profitable as well. So it looks worthwhile. But yeah, I think that is a sensible move, because it's such an impulsive move from the news. You're looking for a pullback and looking for the continuation. So I can get behind that for pound NZD. I'm still bearish bias. I'm not looking to long it. But for the time being, how price is moving, it does look like we're trying to reverse higher. Like I said, that consolidation there, that impulse up, is not a textbook pullback anymore, and looks like price is trying to reverse now. So yeah, pound NZD definitely made it awkward for me, and we're also retesting this high too. So not a good look. Not a good look. So it's not a bad place for a buy at all. But yeah, higher time frames, daily, weekly, more so weekly. I do think we can see a bigger reversal, but we might want to see an upside for a little bit. But yeah, it depends what NZD is trying to do here, because we've seen a big move down for NZD. Is NZD going to sustain that, or is it going to reverse? And that's the bigger question. Because some pairs look like they might want to reverse, some pairs look like they want to continue. But then again, I'm not really looking to trade any NZD pairs at the moment. More focus on my euro and my pounds. So yeah, if pound USD was to correctly fall back into that low, I will be interested in the buy, see how far I can take it. Euro, again, with euro, I kind of missed that level there, so I'm not really going to consider that level much anymore. But this area here is now my preferred area. So going to be waiting to see if we can get a retest of that level, which is 1.09500. See if we can get there, look for some longs, and hopefully take it all the way back to the high. I think rate cut for NZD is influencing my bias, but we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, I mean, the rates were expected to stay the same for NZD yesterday. Not yesterday, early hours of the morning. Rates were expected to stay the same, 5.5, but they cut. They dropped to 5.25, so that's unexpected. So again, it's always a big deal when the news isn't as expected. Even for a big thing like interest rates, sometimes we don't see big moves when the rates come out as expected and everyone's expecting it. But when it's coming out unexpected, then that's not good news as well. So people really pricing in, their reactions to NZD weakness. Again, NZD is not such a big currency. It's not like dollar, but it can still definitely move the market. at least for NZD pairs anyway, and then maybe a bit of Aussie too. But yeah, if NZD has cut rates, you could see that weakness continue for the next possible week or two for NZD. So yeah, that could definitely be a big factor to come into play. You could see weakness now for a while for NZD. Again, I'm just going to let price action tell me what it wants to do and then make my judgments off of that. But you're definitely right to consider that. I'm just looking at the news for tomorrow. I know we've got CPI at 130 today, so keep a close eye on that. But news for tomorrow, we've got GDP growth rate for yen, so that'll be nice and interesting. Then we've got some Aussie unemployment rate. That'll be interesting as well. China employment rate. Then we've got pounds GDP growth rate. That's 7. Then we got retail sales for USD, jobless claims for USD as well. That's for tomorrow. And Thursday we've got a bit of dollar, a bit of CAD, a bit of pound as well. So yeah, it's a pretty busy week in terms of the news. The main star of the show is definitely CPI. That'll be the big one. So we'll see how that is priced into the market, and hopefully there could be some nice opportunities following behind that. But speaking of dollar, everything is very, very weak for me. So I'm just kind of hoping, I've got a feeling that we'll probably see prices absolutely melt. But what I'm hoping happens for CPI is that for some reason we push up to sell off later on, because a push up will mean opportunities on euro, opportunities on pound. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be that big of a push, but just a move higher, because then that means euro and pound will retrace for me, even dollar CHF as well. But I've got a feeling we might just see price kind of just continue in this path and see a big move down. I've been talking about this 101 600, 101 500 area. I've got a feeling we might just hit that today, really. Yeah, I've got a feeling we might just push into that today. Ideally, hope not, because I want to trade to that level. But if it comes out weak for dollar and CPI, packs a punch like it normally does, that could easily take us to the downside. At least easy to take out the low here, and then anything can happen. Anything could happen. Is anyone in any trades at the moment looking to hold it into the news for CPI? Or is anyone looking to trade CPI? Both the yenis still look grizzly scary. Mate, the yen pairs are scary. The yen pairs are scary. They do pack a punch. I don't mind them. But if you're not sensible, they can definitely damage your account. Euro CAD on the daily time, is that a head and shoulder? I'm not seeing the head and shoulder. Perhaps are you talking about the left head and then maybe right shoulder there? It could be. Again, the idea of the head and shoulder pattern is prices reversing market structure. So you're going from making higher highs to now making a lower high and then breaking structure. That's the theory behind head and shoulder pattern. You're going from making higher highs. It's not just because someone spotted a couple of shoulders and a head. The market structure behind it is that, okay, the market was making higher highs, now it's made a lower high, and now it's broken through structure. So in theory, there's a good chance that we're probably going to form a lower high now and continue down. So this becomes a really nice trade here on the retest of the neckline. Some people like to anticipate the right shoulder forming in short here. Of course, it's a bit more risky because in theory, we haven't actually formed a lower high yet. So if we push up like so, we could still just continue going up. We don't have to form a high here. We can still continue the trend still alive. So that's why it's always a bit more risky in trying to anticipate the right shoulder. So in this case here, short, it could be a right shoulder and price does break down, snaps some structure, and then we continue short. But we could just continue the trend and just create more highs. So you have to take that into consideration. So yes, it could be, but it's just going to be a lot more risk involved with taking shorts here because that trend may just be continuing naturally. But if we do something like this in terms of forming some highs and breaking lows, then you've got really nice trade in your hands on the next low high afterwards. So yeah, the thought process behind the head and shoulder really kind of makes the head and shoulder what it is, but you don't want to just trade it blindly, especially when you're just looking for the right shoulder, because yeah, you can catch right shoulders. It does make sense to do so because it gives you better entries and your better risk rewards as well, getting a little bit early. So there's benefits of trying to anticipate the right shoulder, but you have to be careful with it, and you have to understand it's just going to be more risky in general because market structure hasn't shifted yet. So in this case, yes, it could be, but let's wait for evidence that the market is topping out. Right now, we're just seeing momentum, and there's a very strong chance we're probably just going to continue higher. So could be, but I wouldn't say it's confirmed yet. Okay, short NJ, looking for the yen pairs to take a dive. Were you short before the news order, before the interest rate for New Zealand dollar, or you hopped in afterwards? Tony, I'm holding what I currently have. CPI is going. Yeah, I mean, again, there's no need to try and force anything as well. No need to try and force anything, especially with CPI. CPI hasn't been, is not something to mess around with, especially if you've got multiple positions going on. That can really, again, it's either all going to go well or mostly go well, or all going to go wrong or mostly go wrong. So it really is gifts with one hand, takes with the other, because some people will be in the right side of the market, they'll be loving life today, and then people on the wrong side of the market, they'll be cussing and saying, why was I in this position in the first place? So if that's the case, as long as your risk is managed, you're good. As long as risk is number one. If the risk is managed, worst case scenario, you take a loss, maybe you slipped a little bit as well. As long as you can manage that, you're okay to the possibility of that happening, then you're good. You just don't want to be in a position where you put a lot of risk on and you're stressing and you're in drawdown, and that's where nothing good comes of that. Okay, we'll take a look at oil. Momo Kid. So yeah, as I mentioned for oil, I like the buys for this one. Ooh, I like the buys, but looking very bearish. I mean, it still could be on if we can pull back and reject it, but we are looking pretty bearish right now. But essentially what I was saying earlier today was if we can respect the high here, which we were doing so far yesterday, this could be a nice buy back into the high, and then we can go from there. Nice move down, just it looks like we're snapping through. If that's the case and we do break through the low, then of course that will invalidate that bullish bias. If we can pull back up, leave a nice wick, and maybe the next candle is nice and bullish, that could be a nice entry signal to take it back to the high. and essentially see a nice retest of that low. But yeah, at the moment, momentum is looking really bearish. We're about to close in the next 4 minutes, so we'll see how the candle does close. But I would be looking for buys for oil. If we do end up breaking through, then I'll leave it alone, because after that, I don't know what I'll be looking for. There's no other area which I would consider. And like I said, in the higher time frames, oil's price action is just very, very choppy. So I'm not going to try and force anything in terms of coming up with a bias, because I don't really know what price is trying to do in the higher time frames. So yeah, I'm not going to try and force anything. But if you can hold that level, great. If not, then I just need a bit more information, a bit more direction, because at the moment, I don't know what oil is doing. Kind of just squeezing in this kind of pennant wedge pattern. So yeah, need to see what price wants to do with that. Okay, after news 88.628. No problem. Happy to help. Okay, so New Zealand yen 88.6. 88.6. Okay, it's around here somewhere. So yeah, I'm looking for a move down for New Zealand yen as well. But I'm kind of hoping we push up a little bit higher to that area before shorting. Of course, for your sake, Lauder, it would be nice if we were to move down and not push up higher, but that's where my level of interest lies, and it also lies quite nicely with the retest of this low here. So if you do get taken out of that trade, keep an eye on this low here, which is around 90.15, just above 90, which is a big psychological level. And that could also be a nice place for a short, retesting the low there. Of course, it was briefly supporting the 4 hour. Kind of just seeing another swing of this ascending channel back to the high. That could be a nice short. As I said earlier, it could just be for price to continue higher, or it could be price as a massive sell-off and we continue down, which would be nice. But yeah, with New Zealand yen, it's the same situation with other yen pairs. I'm looking for a lower high for price to continue down. The only thing with this one is that that's where my area of interest lies. So I'm hoping we can push there, but we'll see what happens. We might just be breaking lower. We'll see what the NZD news has in store. Algo trading expert. No, I have not done pound Aussie. Okay, we'll wrap it up on pound Aussie and euro Aussie. So yeah, pound Aussie I haven't touched on, and I haven't talked about euro Aussie as well. So I don't like these pairs as much as euro NZD and pound NZD. Those are the ones I do prefer. And again, they're very similar pairs anyway. But again, the idea with pound Aussies, I'm looking for a retest of this area for a short. If we can push up, respect that area, that will be a nice short there. Catch a trade on that entry because we had a lovely consolidation over here. Price broke out that consolidation pretty well, leaving behind lovely support. Haven't yet come back for a retest. So that would be a nice little short there. Take a stop loss above the high and then take some shorts to the downside. That would be the plan. So again, with pound Aussie, we've come back into the high, rejected it very, very well. And now we're seeing some follow through. So after that rejection, I do think more downside is in store. And in terms of a smart place for a short, it would be that low. That's kind of the only low that makes sense for a short. And then, yeah, in terms of targets, can take it back to where we came from, possibly further as well, but at least back to the low makes sense. And for Euro Aussie, not as much. I mean, it's the same idea. It's a similar pair. We come back to the high, rejected it very well there too. Leaving massive wicks to the upside. This one, I don't really have a nice place for a short. So I'm a little bit more... I'm just not really looking to trade it, to be honest. Because if there isn't a clear setup, then I'm just going to move on. But I do expect a similar move to happen in terms of a lower high to form and a move down. This was the last high that gave us that low. So I'm looking for a lower high again to push down. This is definitely bullish territory we're in right now. This low here, gives a massive move higher, and we're back there again. So again, we could see another bullish reaction, even all the way back to the high. So because there isn't a solid place to short, I would kind of stay away really. But I do expect to see a bigger move down. What would be nice is if we can see that move down, break some key support, and then I can look for the retest, and then that would be a nice opportunity for me. But again, a lot needs to happen before we get that. So yeah, I need to stay on my toes. But in general, I'm looking for shorts for both of them. My bias is bearish for those pairs. No problem. Happy to help. Size I don't really have a frequent lot size because it does depend on my stop loss size and the pair I'm trading. Because I can have a stop loss between 25 pips and potentially 100 pips. So again, if you're going to use a 25 pip stop loss, your lot size is going to be very different to when you use a 100 pip stop loss or an 80 pip stop loss. So I always calculate my lot size before I take a trade using a lot size calculator. You can find them on Google. I use one on Baby Pips. There's a nice one on FXCM as well. I don't use a consistent lot size because it just depends on the stop loss size, the pair I'm trading. But yeah, I want to keep the loss the same, but it depends on the size of my stop loss. Are pairs not related to USD still affected by CPI? Yes, CPI will affect most currencies. Of course, USD will be the most affected, but you still see Euro probably fluctuating, CAD, Yen. Those pairs will be fluctuating as well. Of course, USD is the main culprit here, but CAD, CHF will probably make a move as well. So watch out for that. It's not that okay, I'm not trading USD, so I'm fine. If you're in a trade, it probably will be affected by the news. So do take that into consideration. But anyway, guys, we have come to the end of the stream. Like I said, I will be live again tomorrow and the day after. It's already Wednesday. Wow. I will be live again Thursday and Friday. Same time as always, same time as usual. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time. So I do hope everyone is there. If you haven't joined the Discord already, make sure you join that link at the top of the chat there. Feel free to join that. It's completely free to join. Discount opportunities there will be closer to launch date for elevating traders. Also, there are discussions there, trading opportunities. So make sure you check it out if you haven't done so already. If you have enjoyed the stream, guys, please be sure to smash the like button, drop a follow, but we don't follow on YouTube. Do you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already? And of course, make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But guys, I really appreciate everyone coming onto the stream. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Watch out for the news, 1:30 UK time for the CPI. Do not miss that because it will be, that would not be a good thing to miss. So make sure you do keep an eye on that. But guys, thanks so much for coming on. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.